All right, hello everyone. I want to welcome you back to another edition of the Game Changer series, the book written by best-selling author and biohacker extraordinaire Dave Asprey. And I'm going to give you an adrenal fix approach to it. My name is Dr. Joel Rosen. I am the Stress Recovery Ninja. And today I want to talk to you about the number one law that Dave has recommended for us to try to biohack the body. And I don't like to use the word try, right? Because when you use the word try, as Dave says, you already are set up for failure. So when we attempt or when we are implementing a new strategy, using the power of no is very, very important, because what happens is ultimately it comes down to a simple process of energy production. If your body is not keeping up with supply and demand, meaning if your body has to produce a certain amount of energy to get you through the day, and you don't have the supply to meet the demand, you're gonna deal with focus, concentration, burnout with the people that I work with, crashing in the middle of the day, not having as much energy, feeling brain foggy and not being able to concentrate and not being sharp on the ball, not being happier, and really not doing things as quickly. And so why do we have to say no more often? Well, the first thing is we have to understand that your energy has only a certain amount that it can produce on a daily basis. And if you were processing a lot of bits of information, it's going to slow down the computer. Just like it would slow down the computer of your laptop if you had 15 different windows open and you ran a program on each and every window. It's just not going to perform effectively. And it's the same thing with our body. We just don't have the depth and the width to process so many things, so many items on a day-to-day basis. So that's really the point of this particular lesson and this law is, number one, you have to prioritize your actions. You have to preserve your brain energy, and you have to maximize your productivity. So it's those main things that Dave talks about. And that's where it really comes down to understanding what's important to you. What is your mission in life? Where do you see yourself by 2039? It doesn't have to be a manifesto, but if you can picture yourself in a specific, clear, visualized atmosphere, what you're doing, how you're contributing, who you're surrounding yourself with, what's your main purpose in life, then you're not going to get run ragged with the small decisions that you have to make on a daily basis. And I think that's what Dave talks about with his thought leaders and his game changers. The ones that are most successful, they spend their time focusing on their 1% or their 5% or their 10% and even their 20%, where if you can focus 80% of your time on the 20% that you do the best with, or if you can focus 99% of your time on the 1% that you do the best with, then you're going to have that much more energy production and that much more resiliency and that much more meaning in your life, because you're not wasting time with other things that take up your bandwidth. And hopefully that made a lot of sense. So really what we have to do is you have to think about what that outcome is that you want. And if you're making a decision on the day-to-day activities, like you're putting together a to-do list and you say, okay, I got to go get the groceries, I got to go pick up the kids from school, I got to, upload another document, or I got to follow up with someone. If those are things that are going to move you towards your mission, great, do them. If they're not, then delegate them and get someone else to do them or prioritize them. And that way you'll know if you're wasting your energy on a task or not. The other thing we have to understand is that willpower is a muscle. And when you make these decisions, you can improve or you can weaken your muscle. And there's basically two sides of the equation to where willpower is. And Dave talks about that anterior singular cortex, which is in the temporal lobe, which happens to be where your circadian rhythm is housed and where your hippocampus is on a sleep-wake cycle. And we'll really get into your circadian rhythm and how this really makes a huge impact. And if your circadian rhythm is breaking down, then every system in the body, from focus, concentration, reproduction, detoxification, assimilation, HPA axis regulation. All of these things work on a circadian rhythm, and if your circadian rhythm is off, then you will not have a lot of muscle of your willpower, and then you'll make bad decisions. So really what you want to do is you want to do two things. You want to strengthen up that ACC. So that means doing things that you're uncomfortable with. So Dave has an action item where he does like a hand weight or a little grip strength, and he gets to the point where it's painful and he keeps going. And he pushes that ACC's ability for willpower. Or he takes a deep breath and holds it, and then holds it for another 8 seconds so that he can improve his ACC, his ability to handle pushing the envelope. But on the flip side, he makes less decisions every day. So what kind of things can you do to make less decisions? You can decide, okay, I'm gonna have a prepared meal. I'm gonna do the basics. I keep to 5 different kinds of meals. I understand my genetic type. I understand my weak links in the chain, which we'll get into in this series. And I have the same meals. I don't deviate from that. I go to bed and wake up at the same time. I have the meals at the same time, and we keep it as specific as possible. For me, I like to wear the scrubs. I don't have to think about it. I don't have to think about what I'm gonna be wearing today. So that takes time away and energy away from my decision making, my willpower, if I have to make those decisions every day. So what can you do that would simplify your life, and is it moving you towards your goals? And then lastly, coaching. We do coaching with clients all over the world. We look at their genetic tests, we look at their epigenetic factors, we look at their glucose and ketones, we look at their nutrients, we look at their pathogens, we look at their environment, and we customize a program so that they can focus in on what it is that they want to recover with and not focus in on the things that they don't want. So hopefully that made a lot of sense to you. If you have any questions, make sure you like this video, subscribe to my YouTube channel, check out our website at Adrenal Fatigue, The Truth About Adrenal Fatigue. And if you're looking for someone to give you some support, feel free to reach out to me, DM me, and ask me whatever questions that you have to get your life back. Hope you enjoyed this video.